I expect a very good Australian side. I mean, we know they could be aggressive. They have some quality, so hopefully it'll be an amazing game to watch for you guys and an amazing game to play.
Did all of you guys expect you to win? What was talked about inside the locker room after the game?
Honestly, nothing's ever expected. We treat every team with respect. We just came with a game plan that played to our favor, and we ended up playing really aggressive, attacking really well, and defending really well, and it worked out super well. So I mean, once you prepare and once you have the game plan, the results like that are always going to come. So very proud of us and very proud of the team.
Tim, I'm curious about the rhythm of this World Cup compared to the last one. Like the last one, I think it was like 3 days in between games. Each time, does it feel significantly different?
Yeah, definitely. You have a lot more time to rest, and then you're playing earlier. In Qatar, we were playing a little later at night, so I think that helps a bit. And the boys are just prepared. I think mentally we're just ready. We're set. A lot of us have had that first experience, so now it's just about making sure you're well prepared for the challenge. And yeah, I think we're doing an amazing job, and hopefully we can continue the great work.
Did this almost feel like a normal match week, and that like you have Sunday off and you start training on Monday for a weekend game?
Yeah, I wouldn't say normal because you still have those jitters of playing in a World Cup, which is a beautiful thing to have. And but I mean the rest that we do get is amazing. I think when you get to refuel that body, especially after such a hard season, I think it's always a plus. So we're super happy, we're super rested, and can't wait to get back out there.
Yeah, what do you think about the situation of the Iranian players? I don't want to talk about politics, but from the physical point of view, the little time, the short time to recovery, they had to flew right away after the game. You were talking about how ready to train here, the big difference.
Yeah, I'm sure it could be difficult, but honestly, I'm more so focused on what we have here and what this group is building. I watched the game yesterday. It was a beautiful game from both teams. Super excited to see, what they have to offer in the tournament.
Tim, what's the difference in mentality this time around with this team as opposed to Qatar? Is there something that that's very much different for this team?
Definitely. I think the maturity level, we're much older now. I think, after you get that first World Cup experience, the second one is always a bit easier. Just from a nervousness standpoint, I think we're a bit more ready. I think the mentality that Coach Poch has brought to the team, it has been amazing. We have that bit of edge that we didn't have before, and it's been wonderful. I think working with this group, I've been with this team about 10 years now, so I've seen our growth firsthand, and it's really been wonderful. So I'm super excited to see what we do in the tournament. We just have to stay humble, stay true to our work, love each other, and play for each other.
Tim, can you tell me how Christian is doing with his calf? Is he ready?
Yeah, I think he's doing well. I think he just got a bit of a knock, but for me, I think things look positive. So, just praying to God that he's 100% for the game.
Tim, el crecimiento que ha visto con esta selección desde el primer mundial que estuviste con ellos hasta esta fecha y la influencia también de Pochettino.
Can I answer that in English? No, my Spanish is not that good, but I understand the question. I think I talk about it a lot, the influence of Poch and what he brings to our side and what his coaching staff brings. I think when we talk about being aggressive and having that grit and that fight, that's something that a lot of the South American teams do have. And as we saw against Paraguay, it's something that we were able to match and get the upper hand. And I'm super excited to see what we can do in the future with that type of mentality. With me being at Marseille is a club team that is kind of similar to having that South American mentality. So just bringing it back to the national team is amazing. So hopefully we can continue with that and be great.
Tim, tell us about the performance against Paraguay. The flexibility that you guys have as players. How has this helped the team with you, Weston in the middle? What has Mauricio Pochettino done with you guys that you play that type of performance against Paraguay? And how can that help against Australia?
No, I think it helps. Honestly, I think it helps the coach in a way because he has Swiss Army knives like myself, like Weston, who can fill in different positions, who can help out in different positions. So it just makes the job easier and it makes the team's job easy. And I think we did a very, very good job. As you see, Serge just playing even more like an attacking winger now, which is beautiful to see. I think he's doing such an amazing job. So to see, a whole bunch of different players kind of take that responsibility, it's been amazing, and hopefully we can bring that to the next game.
What do you think about the hydration break?
The hydration break? I mean, I think it's fine. I think with the heat, a lot of teams are not necessarily adjusted to the heat. I think it gets really hot in certain places. So I think whatever FIFA can do to help the players play at their best, I think it's a great thing. So yeah.
More questions.
Did you watch the Australia game and the World Cup game you expected from them?
Oh man, I did. I definitely enjoyed the game. I think they're going to play a super aggressive game. I think the counter is going to be something that they look to play with Iran Koundé, who's very fast and speedy and technical. So I think it's going to be a fun game to watch. I think with us, we have huge respect for Australia and what they do. I think me personally, when I used to watch Tim Cahill, it was amazing. And then I had the opportunity to play with Tom Roderick at Celtic. So we know what they're capable of. We have a huge respect for them, and we want to go into the game with the right mindset and well prepared, because we know that they can hit.
Last question.
Tim, can you just talk about the fan support in LA and what you hope to see in Seattle?
Fan support in LA was amazing. I think it's something we've been dreaming about in America for a long time. I think seeing the pop out was amazing. Having that energy in the stadium, I think it was a full SoFi, so it was beautiful, and hopefully we can have the support for the rest of the games, and hopefully we can repay them with great performances. So I'm super excited and super happy. I can't wait to get back out there.
Yeah. How was that call with Dad after the match? And we know there's a letter. Can you share to us a little bit of what was in that letter?
Yeah, he was at the game and just going up in the stands, which was awesome. Seeing his face. 4 years ago, I was waiting for him to come up in the stands, and now he's waiting for me to come up in the stands, and yeah, that was special. And the letter was something unexpected, and that I was just so just when you hear words that your dad's proud of you, it means a lot. So it was a really cool moment.
Sebastian, I spoke to some USA fans here today at the stadium. They say that this is the best USA team that they've ever seen. When they won champion the World Cup, what would be your message to them? Like maybe hold your horses, or yes, why not to dream big? What would you tell them?
Yeah, I think that's what makes us American. That attitude and that almost that confidence to believe in the team. Definitely we still have a lot more games to go and against a lot of good teams, but yeah, we want people to believe. We want people to be excited about this team.
At the beginning of training yesterday, when it was open to media, we saw you get knocked down by a goal, maybe.
Yeah.
First of all, are you okay?
Yeah. You're right.
Does that type of thing happen all the time in the training?
Yeah.
We just
happens all the
happen
time.
to see it.
Yeah, that was awesome. That was good old-fashioned fun. Two guys going up for the ball, and you appreciate it from a goalie.
Sebastian, your thoughts on the atmosphere Friday night in LA and
Yeah.
what you're expecting in Seattle?
Ridiculous. That's all you can ask for as an American soccer player, to have fans like that. And yeah, honestly, I'm expecting Seattle to be even better. Playing there a lot of times, they have a loud atmosphere in stadium, and they know what they're doing. So yeah, it should be fun.
And can you give us any update on how Christian is doing, and will he be back with the full team training today?
Yeah, I'm sure he'll be good. He'll be ready to go.
Sebastian, what does the crowd do for you individually as a player when you have that support? Does it give you like an extra step in here to you? Like, what does it do for you individually as a player?
Yeah, I think it does. I think it gives you that, that like you said, an extra go, and especially when you're winning and you have the momentum, it just, it doubles. And then also when you're losing, it's like, okay, the crowd can really get you in the game because you're fighting for them, and every little play, you hear them cheer and things like that. So the crowd makes a huge difference.
Sebastian, eine Frage auf Deutsch. Haben Sie eine neue Welle der Begeisterung ausgelöst in den USA?
Maybe slower.
Ja, haben Sie eine neue Welle der Begeisterung ausgelöst? So is there more support among American fans? Maybe you can answer in German then.
Okay. Ja, genau. Ich habe das gesehen. Wir spielen ganz Leute, und ja, es ist gut, aber es ist was du willst. Du bist ein Amerikaner und du willst das hier in diese. I got the German guy here. Ja, du willst das hier, das ist sehr gut. Danke. Try my best.
Did you guys watch the Australia game?
Yeah.
The game you expected from them? Were you surprised with their result?
They did well. They did really well, and credit to them. They're a team that fights hard, and they deserve to win that game, honestly. Yeah, it's going to be a tough game, and you see the way they defend as a team. So those are always hard teams to play against, and they have quality too. So it'll be a good game.
How's your relationship with Mauricio Pochettino?
Yeah, he's great. He's believed in me since day one, and I'm super thankful for him. And I've almost never had a coach believe in me that much that I can do it and I can take the next steps in my career. So he's someone I can't talk more highly. Like he's been everything for me. So he's awesome.
Sebastian, how's the team keeping the big win Friday in perspective in regards to not expecting now to make the deep run?
We always want to make a deep run. I think since day one we wanted our goal is to win the World Cup, and that's simple, and that's what we want to do. So it's not like just because we won a game now we're starting to think that we can make a deep run and win the World Cup. It's always been our mission, and we're still taking it one game at a time.
Sebastian, how is this squad better suited to break down a defense like Australia with the style of play now and the freedom that Pochettino's giving you?
There's a lot of creativity, and especially in the final third where guys have a lot of freedom to do what they want, and then also, guys behind them are expected to fill in gaps, and fill in roles. So, yeah, I think we have a lot of creativity and quality guys up there, and they know how to handle it. And for us, it's about how do we support them, especially in the midfield defense, and then also chipping in and making runs forward to help.
Sebastian, Brazil and Spain both scored a goal on their opening game.
Yeah.
How does that help the team and the great figure for the team?
I think we're focusing on ourselves. It's cool to see teams, like Cape Verde, giving everything they have there and getting a draw. That's amazing. And yeah, I think it's just, it's cool to see smaller countries, especially ones that previously maybe wouldn't have been in the World Cup, really step up and do their job. So that's been amazing. It's so fun to watch.
Sebastian, on Friday, you took the field and realized your dream of playing in a World Cup. What did it feel like making the field? Was there a moment where you were able to take it all in?
I think only until after the game. I feel like in the game I just was so focused on what was going on and just trying to assume my responsibilities. But yeah, it's just walking around after the game and just looking at the crowd, seeing my parents, and then seeing so many American fans was pretty special.
Especially, what does McKinney provide to this team in terms of morale and leadership?
Yeah, I think morale and leadership, he's always a positive guy. He's always getting us going, and he isn't always serious, and that's something for me where I'm always serious, and he's a guy that can kind of see both sides of it. He's serious when he needs to be, but then also knows how to have fun and be loose and just enjoy it. So he's a guy that I think does a great job at managing both, and then on the field he has the quality and helps us a lot.
Two more questions.
Yeah.
So, how much of the World Cup have you been watching?
Almost every game. Yeah, at least a little part of almost every game. Yeah.
What are the how did you guys spend this weekend? You had a day off on Sunday. Right?
Yeah.
What was
Went to the beach. You want my day by day, or you want a minute, or what? I'm trying to think. Woke up, took a shower.
As much detail as you want.
What else did I do? Yeah, we got lunch. Went to the beach, and then just did recovery and treatment, just get ready for the next day.
Sebastian, you're someone who plays with a fierce intensity on the field. Can you just talk about the hunger that this team has, the mindset that much is kind of considering you guys?
Yeah, I think we're just being American. We're being ourselves, and that's I think what makes the teams great is that we're just leaning into who we are as people and what our country is. And for us it comes natural, and if we're not forcing anything, it's who we are, and I feel like that comes easy for us.
What do you think about the massive social media that is following the players, like Kim Payne from New Zealand,
Yeah.
people from Brazil?
It's amazing. I think it's so funny. That's the special things about World Cup. Things like that happen, and yeah, it's just really cool.
Sebastian, you guys had a great performance in the first game, and obviously expectations are higher maybe than in the beginning of the World Cup. After that performance and now facing Australia, how do you guys feel in terms of pressure from the fans, expectations, etc.?
I think there's always going to be that. Even before the game, there was a pressure and expectation, and for us, it's just about being who we are. I don't think we've looked too deep into what other people are saying. I think we just focus on what we do well, and so far it's worked, and we still have a lot more work to do.
Thanks, Sebastian.
Thank you guys.
Thanks, Sebastian. I appreciate it.